Let's determine the critical points of this given function. That is, we have f of x equals 4x cubed minus 5x. So to determine the critical points, we use the definition of critical points. That is, for any function f of x, critical points occur at f prime of x equals 0 or when it is undefined. That is, for any function f of x, the critical points occur when the first derivative equals 0 or when it is undefined. So we look at this function. This function is a polynomial function in x, so it is defined everywhere, and which means its derivative will also be defined everywhere. So there is no point in x that this its derivative is going to be undefined. So we will not consider this condition. We will utilize only this condition to evaluate the critical points. So let's begin by finding the derivative of this function. So I'm going to find the derivative of f of x. So derivative of f of x, we write down this as f prime of x. And here I can find the derivative of each of the terms. First, I find the derivative of 4x cubed, and then I find the derivative of 5x. So to find the derivative of 4x cubed, I had to use the product rule. Remember that the derivative of x raised to the power n is nx power n minus 1. That is, this n basically comes in front, and we have to raise x to the power of n minus 1. So when I do that, I keep the constant as it is. That is, this 4 remains constant due to the constant multiple rule. And then we find the derivative of x cubed, which is I put the 3 in front and then raise x to the power of 3 minus 1. I write like this, and minus of 5 times of derivative of x is basically 1 according to the derivative rules. And so therefore we can simplify this. This is 4 times of 3 is 12, and then we have x raised to the power of 3 minus 1 is 2, and this minus, so we get f prime of x, that is the first derivative of this function is 12x squared minus 5. Now we have to utilize this condition, that is f prime of x equals 0. So it means we have to replace this derivative function, that is f prime of x equals 0, and then determine the corresponding x. So let's do that. I replace 0 for f prime of x, and this equals 12x squared minus 5. Now we have to solve x from this equation. So first I add 5 on both sides. When I do that, I get 5 equals 12x squared. Now I divide both sides by 12. So I do it like this. So therefore, I'll be getting this 12 and 12 will get cancelled. And on the left, we have 5 by 12. And this could be rewritten as x squared equals 5 over 12. Now we take the square root to determine the value of x. So we put the square root symbol. So therefore, square root of x squared is x. And square root of 5 by 12, we can uh, get two values when we take the square root. That is plus minus 5 by 12 square root. So this can be written in decimal form also. So basically we have two values of x, that is x equals positive square root of 5 over 12, and x equals negative square root of 5 over 12. So these are the two critical points. In fact, we can give this in decimal format. So square root of 5 over 12 is approximately 0.645 when you round it to three decimal places, and this gives x equal to negative 0.645 when rounded to three decimal places. So these are the critical points. That is, we basically have two critical points, x equal to square root of 5 by 12, or in decimal format 0.645. This is one critical point, and another critical point is x equals negative 5 over 12, or this is in decimal format is negative 0.645.